Hi, everybody. So this installation of the Sergeant at Arms is going to be about this whole controversy with Stormy Daniels and President Donald Trump. Now, I've avoided talking about this because affairs is not something that I'm interested in talking about. However, this story has morphed into something more than just a simple affair and a simple payoff. And so we're going to talk about three different things. The first thing I want to talk about is President Donald Trump. So we're going to talk very briefly about this part because this is irrelevant, which is his story has changed a couple of times with regard to this. First, he had no idea who she was. Then he said, okay, I do know who she is. Then the question was asked, did you make the payment? He said, no, I didn't make the payment. Then he said, oh, maybe my lawyer made the payment. His lawyer said, yes, I made the payment. Then he said, oh, I did make the payment. I reimbursed him. Okay, so we're going to move past that because we know that President Trump likes to change his story on a regular basis and then change it again. So let's just move past that. So then thing two is Rudy Giuliani. So now Rudy Giuliani is his new personal attorney. Rudy Giuliani has started making the rounds on television defending the president and telling this story, however it is that he thinks this story has happened. The difficulty with that is the President Trump even said, well, Rudy is not fully, he's a great guy, but he's not fully briefed on the situation. Why do we have him talking on television if he's not fully briefed on the situation? This is the first rule of being a spokesperson, and that is be informed, be informed, be informed. Okay, I understand he may not have felt like he needed to go through media training, but media training is extremely helpful for most people. I will wholeheartedly admit that I do not like media training for myself, but I have media trained any number of people, tons and tons of people. I have done media training, and for most people it's useful. For me, it's not useful because being a reporter, I'm usually the person asking the questions, but I don't recommend going into any interview cold. Highly, highly discourage that. But my version of being ready is information and research and doing research and research and research to find out what that story is about and to have the answers to every possible question that somebody could ask me. Having said that, Rudy Giuliani has gotten on television and just started saying random things. All wrong. If he doesn't know all the details, he should not be speaking on behalf of the president or anybody else. Bottom line. So now thing three is, let's talk about how it is some of this could have taken place. So Michael Cohen, who was President Trump's personal attorney, not sure if he still is or isn't, said that he made a payment to Stormy Daniels of whatever the amount was. I actually have heard a couple of different amounts. Regardless of what the amount was, he made a payment to her to silence her. It has been suggested that President Trump didn't know about it. I actually believe that there's a possibility he could not have known about it. Here's why. So if you know how lawyers work on billable hours. Billable hours are generally based on a retainer. And so a client will pay a retainer. Let's say, I think I heard Donald Trump's retainer was $35,000 a month with Michael Cohen. So what Michael Cohen could have done is he could have billed Donald Trump in installments for that payment through his retainer. If he had done that, depending on how much Donald Trump scrutinizes his bills, he may not have even known or realized, oh, that's what that was about. My guess is that he did know. He's just kind of choosing selective amnesia on this one and suggesting, oh, well, I didn't know, it was a one-time payment. If he made it in installments, it wasn't a one-time payment. So there are ways around this. And then part two is, as his personal lawyer, whoever is speaking on his behalf, why aren't these people explaining this like this? Okay, well, he paid a retainer over the course of X number of months. He was billed this much through the retainer, and so he may not have known exactly what the amount was or what it was for. We told him that we were doing it, and we did it. He paid his retainer, and that was that. So he could theoretically take some safe distance from, I didn't really know about that. Okay, so again, these are supposed to be smart people. How come they don't know enough to do this? So I say all of this to say the whole situation is shameful and disgraceful, and I wonder where we are that we're not holding our president to the same standard that we held Harvey Weinstein to, and that we held Kevin Spacey to, and that we're holding all these other high-powered men who either had affairs or sexually harassed someone. We're holding all these other people accountable and stripping them of their careers and businesses, but we're not willing to do that for our president. I don't know where this is going. My feeling is this is gonna be, I feel like this is just gonna turn quickly, automatically, and President Trump is gonna be in huge trouble. But you know what? Stay tuned. We'll see what happens. So in the meantime, let's keep tweeting about this. I'm gonna keep watching. I just want to know kind of the behind the scenes, the lawyer part details. The salacious part I don't really care about, but how these lawyers are figuring out to get around this, and how they're attempting to justify what happened in that process and with that particular person. That's the part that I'm really most interested in. So tweet me, SGTATARMSUSA, and I will keep tweeting the president and the Speaker of the House and the GOP and the Democrats. So until next time, I will close this installation of the Sergeant at Arms. See you next time.